One, the fact that the moment wasn't too big for him.
That's
I mean,
correct.
as you said, this was the biggest debut since LeBron James. I was at LeBron's first game, and it was similar. I mean, he played the whole game.
You went to Sacramento.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. For the New York Times, I wrote about that. And the next day, I talked to Larry Bird. He said, if he's not in the Hall of Fame within 5 years, something went wrong, terribly wrong.
Yeah.
So you knew right then. And Zion, I mean, even not just the moment, but the fact that you're playing in 4-minute bursts, that had to be frustrating. And the fact that he didn't sulk. I mean, a lot of guys would have been like, this is ridiculous.
Let me get a rhythm.
Right, right. And so when he got his chance, he was huge. Now, obviously, the three-point shooting, no one expects that to continue. But if he can just shoot 35% from three, then for the next 7 years till his athleticism wanes, you're talking about a superstar. If he's going to shoot like that, because what LaMarcus Aldridge did was what most teams are going to do is give him 4 feet, you know, and if he shoots it well from there, it's over. But also tremendous rebounder. His energy and tenacity around the basket is huge, and we saw that last night. I think especially on the offensive end. I think I've compared him. I've said he's a new age Charles Barkley. Barkley was a tremendous offensive rebounder at that size. I think this guy's similar. Court vision, first quarter, right? First couple minutes, the pass to Brandon Ingram cutting across the lane. And what I liked is that when he got a lot of rebounds, the one over Pirtle especially, he could dribble it up the floor. And he hit Etwan Moore. That fast break layup he hit him on was first. So what I see, the last thing I'll say is this. What I love about him, and it differentiates him from most of the big scorers in the league nowadays, he doesn't need to dominate the ball. And I think that's going to make him easy to play with. So in theory, at least, he should be able to play with Brandon Ingram because Ingram needs the ball.
Yes.
But Zion really doesn't.
No.
Last year, R.J. Barrett had the ball at Duke, and Zion still scored because he's so efficient. So I love that about him. You don't have to run plays for him other than a few, you know, get him in the lane a little bit. He's going to get, so what I see is this, a Draymond Green who can post and who's going to score 24, 25 points a game. I mean, that's pretty darn good because he can bring it up. He can pass the ball. He can make some plays.
Talking about a Draymond who he can get you 10 assists. I mean,
right. I mean, so I didn't expect this much, and I said last night on our radio show, Ja Morant I think will be the better rookie, you know, have the better career out of these two.
Okay.
Maybe I'm mistaken.
Overall.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I love Ja, but Zion looked great last night.
No, you had to be impressed with the fourth quarter. The first 3 quarters, you weren't impressed. you was about to say...
Other than that one pass. No,
you was about to say, and you mentioned about the Duke thing, much to Skip's chagrin, because when we were talking college basketball, it was so upsetting to him that Coach K put the ball in R.J. Barrett's hand and not Zion Williams' hand. So he come in here banging the table about that.
Especially against Michigan State.
You know,
that's true.
I got to be a couple of cases to do off that. But look, the fans have hope in New Orleans now. And the team, they believe they can get that 8 spot, Skip. They believe they can get that 8 spot. Even though they lost to San Antonio, they fluctuate 8-9, 8-9. But they believe they can catch fire here. Once this team plays together a little more, they can get hot again. True, B.I. he suffered last night. He shot 6 of 22. B.I.'s better than that. Yeah. I believe he should be an all-star.
The West, if you count them out, I hear you, but if you count out the players, it's just too many other guys.
He should be in over Paul George. Paul George missed a bunch of games, and he's missing games. Let that see.
All right, that might, okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I believe he should, but it's going to be tough, I agree. But the fourth quarter, yeah, that was something that we don't see. We've seen, not rookies, we've seen guys get hot like that. We've seen Steph, Clay, KD, Bron, Kyrie gets cooked. We've seen guys, but not rookies, Skip. Not after being out for the first 3 months of the basketball season and come in on a minutes restriction. And athletes are rhythm players. They need rhythm. They need time. You can't, hey, play 2 minutes, okay, come over, sit with me. Yeah. Play 3 minutes, come over here and sit with me. No, they need to get going. It's like, soon as I get a break of sweat, you get me to come back, I got to get cold again. I get back in and break another sweat. Now you take me out, and I got the half. So it wasn't until they let him play an extended stretch in the fourth that he can get his rhythm. And he got a quick, Pirtle blocked the shot. He got the rebound. I said, oh, see, you playing with fire now. You done started feeding the guy. And then they throw him a lob. He loses. Skip, there are only a handful of guys that can do this. He was going to dunk it. He lost it. And in one motion, lays it up off the glass. And so that lets you know, okay, and now the threes. They'll let him shoot around threes. I don't know. I'm not saying you got to hug up on him, but you got to respect the guy's game more than that now. That's not like Andre. They make it seem like it was Andre Drummond and Dwight Howard out there shooting threes. I mean, Skip, he got a better shot than he got a better stroke than that.
He's got a nice stroke.
It looked, those are pure.
I know.
A little line drive-ish.
Maybe.
But they were, I mean,
Those two.
they were no doubt.
So, yeah, he lived up to the hype. I think everybody wanted to see what he can do. I'm sure people want to see a few more dunks because he's a highlight. And he gave you what you wanted. It was in a short burst. It was in a small package, but it was everything I know everybody hoped and thought it would be.
So, for 3 quarters last night, we're going back and forth in our heads about what should we lead undisputed with tomorrow morning. And after 3 quarters, I said, there's no way we can lead with Zion's debut because it's such a disappointment. It's so deflating.
Yeah.
It's such a letdown. It's like a 285-pound letdown because all I saw was a little out of sync and maybe out of shape. And I saw fumbling and stumbling, and I saw 5 turnovers through 3 quarters. And I saw tentative, and I saw a little underconfident, like, do I fit in? And I heard Alvin Gentry say in a between quarters interview, he's just playing so conservatively, and I keep saying, you got to go, man. And I'm not sure the fourth quarter was supposed to be an extended stretch.
Right. I agree.
I think he finally just got sick and tired of having to recalibrate his RPM to where he said, okay, I know they're going to yank me after 3 or 4 minutes. So this time when I get my 4th little stint, I got to really take advantage of it.
Right.
And when he hit the floor, here we went. And I got to show that play one more time just because it took my breath away because I know Jakob Poeltl, and he's 7 feet 1 inch tall. I got a picture taken with him last year in a gym in Las Vegas. He is a huge human being. And it started with Zion. Look, Poeltl gets inside position on him on the missed shot. And look, Zion goes up over him without really fouling him. I didn't think it was a foul. And snatched it from him and then made that two-hand chest pass on the break just for an easy deuce for E'Twaun Moore. And I'm thinking, how did you do that exactly? That's 6'6" against 7 feet 1. Right. And then, as you point out, because he played point guard in high school, he can lead the break with anybody, right?
No doubt.
Okay, that's when it took my breath away, and that started this stretch. And I got to tell you, maybe I'm overreacting, but I was getting goosebumps last night because I have not seen an explosion like that since MJ and Kobe were in their primes, because they were capable of dominating a game inside and outside, at the rim and from 3, the way he did for just 3 minutes. And I'm going to remind everybody, 3 minutes is only 1/4 of the fourth quarter. So if you multiply 17 points times 4, that would be 68 points in a quarter. But just to put it in perspective, he was on pace to score 68 in the fourth quarter. It's hard to do that, man. And I know he got hot-handed suddenly from 3. And we've seen, listen, when Klay Thompson scored 37 in a quarter against Sacramento, it's extraordinary, but it's all catch and shoot heat check. It's just where he's just so hot from 3, he's just draining threes. Well, this was both. This was rim, distance, rim, distance.
And he played above the rim because, we see James Harden get hot just about every other night, Skip, from 3 and driving the ball. But James Harden is not going up, taking the ball off the rim, putting it back putting it back up over a 7-footer.
No. And then if I could interrupt this for just a second, there are the threes. But then he goes down to the other end a couple of minutes later, and he gets blocked by Jakob. And here's another 3. And he gets blocked by Poeltl. And before Poeltl can find the basketball, watch, he blocks his shot. And then in a flash, it's like quicker than the eye, he retrieves his miss and goes up and under with it. And Poeltl's just standing there like, what just happened to me? I thought I just blocked his shot.
And the thing is, in today's NBA, number one, it's easy to get to the rim because
spacing.
Usually guys are running you off the three-point line and then the spacing. So if they're going to give him the 3, maybe he can hit it, 1 out of 3 times.
Right.
And if they get up on him, he can get to the rim and there's nobody there to stop you. And I think last night, a lot of his great play came when he was at center. if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he was the 5 in the fourth quarter in that stretch.
Right. So he
There
can
wasn't a
play center in today's NBA.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, there's no Patrick Ewing. He's not going to do like all games stay on the block and just expose this 6'5" guy.
Right.
So
He always says, I don't want to play 5.
Right.
Right.
So, I mean, I think he's on a great team for him. Because Lonzo, as you know, last month, Lonzo's maybe the best thing for him was to get away from dad,
I agree.
get away from LA and go to New Orleans. But he's been great the last month.
Yeah.
So you got a pass first point guard. Zion himself can move the ball. You got Drew Holiday, who hopefully he stays there because
Well, they want to see how it works because I'm hearing Woj say this. Now that they got everybody back, they want to see how
it works.
Yeah.
See how it plays out and see if they can make a push. Probably if they lose ground on that 8th seed, I can see them
Trade
possibly
Drew.
moving on from Holiday.
But I think they got a shot. They're only 3.5 games out. But going forward, even if they don't make the playoffs, like this is a nice team in Ingram for him to be on.
Yeah.
So
Hey, they're not just nice. They're like must watch
Yeah.
to me.
Right, oh,
That's
yeah.
fun, man.
This
If
is
you-
why
like
they've been
up
on every week.
Yeah, like
when
up in-
Zion hasn't been there.
Yeah, because they expect these guys to be there. But they're going to get up and down. They're going to get in the 120s more times than not. They're going to be 120s, 130s. And that's what people want to see. Win, lose, or draw. I want to see points.